Welcome back. With summer winding down and the school year starting up again, it's the perfect time to schedule your annual primary care appointment. And our sponsors at UBMD Primary Care are here for you. I'm joined now by Doctors Kim and Steven. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Much.
Of course. I want you to start off by explaining why back to school time is a good time for that routine checkup.
Absolutely. Back to school is a great time to think about bringing your children in for their annual physical. You know, over the course of a year, kids can grow and change so much. So it's really the perfect time to bring them in for that checkup, to check in on their growth, development, make sure they're meeting all of those important milestones, and set them up for a good school year.
Well, what might a child's doctor do or discuss at a well visit before going back to school?
Sure. I mean, your doctor will discuss a number of things with your child at their back-to-school visit. As Dr. Kim mentioned, evaluation, giving them some counseling, talking to them, making sure they're up to date on all of their preventative health screenings and preventative health maintenance that children of various ages would require. Your doctor will make sure that your child is doing okay in terms of vision testing, and also making sure they're up to date with their routine vaccinations that they may require to go back to school.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Dr. Steven. What vaccines are important for parents to consider for their children in the fall?
Yeah, as Dr. Steven said, it's important to make sure they're up to date with all their recommended, scheduled vaccinations. And then in the fall especially, we're really thinking about getting that annual flu vaccine, and we can also think about their next COVID vaccination as well.
That's right.
Now, we were talking about this before the interview started, but I think it is important for doctors to, there's a lot of misinformation about vaccines. There's a lot of vaccines out there, and it could be a little bit overwhelming. So how do you talk to parents to, meet them where they're at and help to educate them so they're making the best decision for their child?
Certainly. That's very important. There's unfortunately a good deal of misinformation out there on social media and whatnot. But it's our job as physicians and as folks who are just really looking out for the best interests of children and adults that we're taking care of, to give them the information that we're really only recommending vaccines that are required, for the school, are beneficial for their health, and are things that we ourselves and our families take too, that we recommend for our families. So I'm just trying to meet the parents where they're at and provide that information and that counseling that these are safe, effective means to make sure that children and adults alike are getting the required and safe vaccinations to provide the best health that we can.
Yeah, we're really here to be partners, educators, and help ensure best health for our patients and their families.
And it's really just to be a good community member too, right? We're going into schools, we're going to work, we're going into supermarkets, we interact with people. We learned how much we interact with people during the pandemic, right? So making sure we're staying vaccinated is not just to keep yourself healthy, it's for your community.
Absolutely.
Right? You mentioned the flu shot, so who should be getting their flu shot?
Yeah, everyone 6 months of age and older should be getting their annual flu shot.
Okay.
That's right.
Let's talk about the wellness habits that parents can practice with their children before, they go back to school while they're in the home.
Absolutely. I want to start, talking about hand washing, hand hygiene. Going back to school, this is a great time to review the best way to keep our hands clean to prevent the spread of those illnesses. So reminding your kids, washing with soap and water for 20 seconds. A good way to remember is singing the happy birthday song 2 times through while you're washing your hands, and remembering to remind kids to wash their hands before they eat, after they cough, after they sneeze, after they use the restroom.
Another kind of health habit that we've been seeing is the appreciation of mental health lately, and a lot of mental health for kids especially, everyone but kids especially, has been impacted by the use of social media and being online. So tell us about the importance for parents to know about online safety and social media when it comes to their children.
Absolutely. Well, it starts with just having a good dialogue and communication with your child, checking in on them, seeing how they're doing. As parents, are you noticing any difference in your child's behavior? Are they acting differently toward you, toward their friends? Are they more secluded, more isolated? Have they, taken some new interest in any online sites, etc.? So just taking that interest in learning more about what your child is up to can be very helpful. Because certainly there's a lot of good influences, but also a good deal of negative influences, unfortunately, online. And especially in today's day and age, it's very important for parents to have a good understanding of what their child is engaged in online.
Maintaining good communication with your children, being a partner with your children, and also reminding them always don't share any personal information online because you never know who you may be communicating with there.
That's right.
I think communication with the students is key, especially because there are all these trends and things that people see online, not only if you want your child to protect their safety, but also you want them to have open dialogue with you. So if they're seeing some crazy trend online, like, you know, having something that might be or probably is unhealthy and really bad for you, maybe if they're open enough to talk about you, you can explain to them why that's a horrible decision to make.
That's right.
We saw that with the Tide Pod trends,
That's
right?
right.
Right?
That's right.
You know, so it's important to have that open dialogue, and so, you know, your kids feel comfortable talking to you about it, and you can help them make better decisions.
Absolutely.
So, doctors, how can people make an appointment for a wellness visit with your team?
Certainly. So you can visit our website, just simply Googling UBMD Primary Care, and you can find our various locations that are accepting patients. You can also call the office that Dr. Kim and I work at UBMD Primary Care of Amherst. Our phone number is 716-688-9641. You can ask for a new patient packet. Our office will send that to you, and that's a great way to get set up at our office.
Righty, Dr. Kim, Dr. Stephen, thank you so much for coming in and sharing more. Viewers, to schedule an appointment or learn more about our sponsors at UBMD Physicians Group, just visit ubmdprimarycare.com. And thanks again for coming in.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much.